Greetings, philosophers. Today, we're stepping into the thrilling world of Friedrich Nietzsche, one of philosophy's most provocative thinkers, to explore his idea of the Übermensch, often translated as the superhuman or Overman. It's a concept that's been celebrated, misunderstood, and even twisted over time, but it's absolutely worth unpacking because it challenges us to rethink who we are and who we could become. So settle in and let's get philosophical. Nietzsche was a 19th century German philosopher with a knack for shaking things up. He wasn't the kind of thinker who sat in an ivory tower, stroking his beard and nodding sagely. No, Nietzsche was a firebrand. He wanted to jolt people awake, make them question everything, religion, morality, society itself. He famously declared, "God is dead," not as a gleeful atheist victory lap, but as a warning. If we've lost the old foundations of meaning, what do we do now? That's where the Übermensch comes in, a vision of what humanity might become if we dare to create our own meaning. So, what exactly is the Übermensch? It's not a superhero in a cape, swooping in to save the day. It's not some muscle-bound tyrant lording over everyone else, despite what certain 20th century regimes tried to make of it. Nietzsche's Übermensch is a person who's fully alive, someone who's overcome the limitations of ordinary human existence, fear, conformity, resentment, and forged their own path. Think of it as the ultimate act of self-creation. It's like an artist painting their life on a blank canvas, refusing to follow anyone else's sketch. To understand this, let's back up a bit. Nietzsche thought most people live what he called a herd existence. We follow the crowd, stick to society's rules, and cling to comfortable beliefs because, well, it's easier. The herd life is safe, predictable, but it's also small. It's like living in a cozy cage. Nietzsche wasn't a fan. He believed humans are capable of so much more, capable of greatness, creativity, courage, but only if we break free from that cage. The Übermensch is the one who does just that. Now, this isn't about being better than others in some snobby, elitist way. It's about being better than your own past self. Nietzsche saw life as a constant process of overcoming. The Übermensch isn't born. They're made through struggle, self-reflection, and the guts to say, I'm going to live my life on my terms. It's a deeply personal journey, but it's not selfish. The Übermensch inspires others by example, like a beacon showing what's possible. Let's paint a picture. Imagine someone who's been told their whole life what to believe, what to value, what to do. Maybe they're stuck in a job they hate because that's just what people do. Maybe they're following a script laid out by their family or culture, even though it feels wrong. Then one day they wake up. They start questioning, why am I doing this? What do I want? They begin to carve out their own values, their own purpose. Maybe they quit that soul-sucking job to start a business, or they move to a new city to chase a dream, or they just decide to live more authentically, whatever that means for them. That's the spirit of the Übermensch, someone who creates themselves anew. Nietzsche introduced this idea in his book Thus Spoke Zarathustra, where his character Zarathustra, a kind of wandering prophet, talks about the Übermensch as the next step in human evolution. Not evolution in a biological sense, but in a spiritual and existential one. Zarathustra says, humanity is a bridge between the animal and the Übermensch. We're not the finished product, we're a work in progress. The Übermensch is what lies on the other side of that bridge, if we're brave enough to cross it. But here's the catch. Crossing that bridge isn't easy. Nietzsche was clear that becoming an Übermensch means facing discomfort, uncertainty, even pain. You have to confront what he called the spirit of gravity. All the doubts, fears, and societal pressures that weigh you down. It's like trying to climb a mountain while carrying a backpack full of rocks. You've got to shed those rocks. Guilt, shame, the need for approval, and keep climbing. That's why Nietzsche admired people like artists, poets, or anyone who creates something bold and new. They're not just making art, they're making themselves. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. The idea of the Übermensch has been misused, especially in the early 20th century when certain groups twisted it to justify their own agendas. Nietzsche would have been horrified. He wasn't about domination or supremacy in the way those groups imagined. He was fiercely individualist, suspicious of any groupthink, whether it came from religion, politics, or nationalism. The Übermensch isn't about crushing others. It's about transcending your own limitations and living with such vitality that you lift everyone else up too. So, what does this mean for us today? In a world of social media, 9-to-5 routines and endless noise telling us who to be, Nietzsche's Übermensch is a wake-up call. It's an invitation to ask, am I living my life or someone else's? Am I creating my own values or just swallowing what's fed to me? It's not about becoming a billionaire or a celebrity. It's about being true to yourself, whatever that looks like. For one person, it might mean starting a family and pouring their heart into it. For another, it might mean traveling the world or writing a novel. The point is, it's yours. Here's a practical way to think about it. Take a moment to reflect. What's one thing in your life you're doing just because that's how it's done? Maybe it's a career path, a relationship, or even a belief. Now imagine letting go of that expectation. What would you do instead if you were free to choose? That's the first step toward the Übermensch, questioning the script and writing your own. Nietzsche's philosophy isn't a cozy blanket. It's a spark that can set your life on fire in the best way. He's not saying you must become an Übermensch. He's saying you can. The potential is there, but it's up to you to seize it. And that's what makes this idea so powerful. It's not a rule book. It's a challenge. It's a dare to live boldly, to create, to overcome. As we wrap up, let's leave with this thought. The Übermensch isn't some distant, unattainable ideal. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about striving, every day, to be a little truer to yourself. Nietzsche believed life is an art form, and you're the artist. So, what kind of masterpiece are you going to create? That's all for this episode of The Philosophy Zone. If this sparked something in you, share it with a friend, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep questioning, keep creating, and keep crossing that bridge. See you in the next one.